You talk about impersonal consciousness being your home. You are absolutely, quote, absolutely identified with this nothing. And then you say in this interview that something really magnificent happened. You said, in the middle of the 90s, the absolute cognition came as a simple insight, a little aha, of being that which is, and I quote, the self is, and nothing but the self is. Nothing is everything, is love is eternity. So that sort of reminds me of a Nisargadatta quote. In wisdom, I know that I am nothing. In love, I know that I am everything.
No, I mean, he may have said, love tells me I am everything and wisdom tells me I am nothing. But between both,
these two,
my existence flows.
Mm-hmm. Between these two.
Because both are empty.
That's beautiful.
Empty promises.
Empty promises, yeah.
Love is empty promise and wisdom is another empty promise. Both are promising you that you can know yourself, but you cannot. So the empty pro-missing.
Pro-missing.
Promises.
So you then saying that you don't think that Nisargadatta's quote is a good recapitulation of exactly what you say here. The self is and nothing but the self is?
Yeah, but that's because love is a dream and wisdom is a dream. Knowledge never needs wisdom and or love or anything.
So then you come back to this idea of absolute acceptance, which is sort of a bedrock. It seems to be a bedrock theme for you, this absolute acceptance. I would even go further and say absolute welcoming. Absolute welcoming as opposed to acceptance.
No. Welcoming means there is something to welcome. No, there is no welcoming.
Well, absolute acceptance would imply...
No, absolute acceptance is that what you are, who never needs to accept anything to be what it is.
Then why the word acceptance?
Just call it acceptance, call it knowledge, call it whatever. Call it self, call it God, you can call it many names, but it's absolute. And the absolute beauty doesn't need beauty and doesn't know beauty. Or the absolute love doesn't know love or doesn't need love. So there is no concept of love. That's why. So welcoming is already a relative term.
It is, in a sense, welcoming everything that appears as you.
Yeah, but that's already, you need to recognize yourself in something. That's already conditioning. No, not needed. You don't have to cognize yourself to be yourself.
Well, this is interesting because my next quote here is, all that is cognizable is false.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what do you mean by that?
Especially the cognizer.
Right, I stole that quote, Joe. I'll let you off the hook on that one. I'll let you off the hook, I stole that one. But I wanted you to explain to me what you mean when you say that all that is cognizable is false.
I like the word cognizer.
This is a quote from the great Karl Renz. Desire for union is based upon the idea of separation. How can a lie lead to the truth? You were asked, how can, so let's go through the whole idea of relationship first. Someone that I care very deeply about said once that we all, the common man, has a feeling of relationship and love, and that everyone understands that love is the dissolution of two, and that is actually what's being looked for in relationship.
Every sex happens for that. But temporary you can maybe reach that
right.
Union, and then it's like a dervish turning around and becoming one with God, forgetting both, and then turning back and being again a dervish and God in whatever. So it's temporary, it can be done.
So the idea, though, that the desire for union would imply duality, which would necessarily, by definition, imply suffering. And since there is no duality, you're saying...
There's an experience of duality, so I don't deny the experience, but I deny that by that experience something is separated.
The experience of it not
By
being...
the experience I never deny. I don't deny any experience of birth or death or anything, but I deny that something is born by anything, or someone is born, and then may die afterwards.
Right.
So I don't deny the dream. The dream, in the dream there is birth, there is death, there is all possible ways of experiencing yourself, but by none of them one is born and can die.
It's interesting. Someone once said to me, their definition of Maya was mentation. It would be perception, sensations, thoughts, feelings, or as you call them, concepts. And that the difference between the sage and the ignorant is that the sage no longer believes in Maya. Not that Maya doesn't exist.
That's still a dream.
What's still a dream?
The sage not believing in the Maya. It's different, so it must be dream.
It's different.
Yeah, different from one who believes in it. So a sage belongs to the dream.
The sage itself belongs
Yes.
to the dream. Okay. Carlos Castaneda wrote a series of books, the most famous of which is The Teachings of Don Juan. And it was posed about Native American shamanism, et cetera, and so forth. And it was very popular back then. It was very, very popular. But one of the teachings in that was to try to be aware of your hands in a dream.
Find your hands in the dream and look at them.
Yeah. So you had, in this interview, you talked about how you were in a dream and you saw your hands, and the moment that you saw your hands, a dissolution started to happen. That
A
turned
vacuum
into
cleaner turned on. A vacuum cleaner turned on.
yeah, vacuum cleaner turned on, right. Right,
It's
exactly.
like the darkness, your nature became active. And by that activity it was just withdrawing everything. And then this one tendency, this Karl inside was fighting for survival, just to survive. And it was really like a death. You're dying and you try to survive this dying process. But
just for the benefit of our viewers, you're in your dream, you're looking at your hand starts to dissolve, and then things start
you
to go to
start
black.
dying, your whole body dies. It's like the flesh is dropping away, your bones, and then the whole thing just dissolves, your whole existence.
Right.
And you have freak out. You try not to stop it, but you cannot. And then there's maybe one point, there's a okay, just a simple okay. And then you're just gone. And then it's an easy going, it's like falling asleep. Whoop, gone you are.
So then you pass from that, and you say dark nothing into radiant light.
And then whatever, from there you start realizing yourself as first as that light, and then this spontaneous space, and then Karl on window, and then back again. And off and on, for hours. Back to the darkness, first light, and then this and this.
Unbelievable. So great clarity in the dream state for you.
I was always a dreamer.
But you were always a witness. You were always aware of your dreams. This is,
Not really.
Well, being able to see
but that was after so many dreams in the 70s.
Yeah.
After meeting so many masters in dreams, going to Mexico in dreams and having all this, whoever, and I even saw Brahmana and all that, they're gathering in some places like dreamlike things, and not knowing who they are. And I always thought they were some Mexican shamans or something. And then giving this energy, whatever, exercises, and touching you, and you wake up in the night, and you're levitating in your bed, and all this bullshit energy dreams, what I don't need, but that happened. And then comes this bloody hand. So I cannot take it personally. It's not my whatever. It's not that I was seeking that or something.
Yeah.
It's a rape, and I call it a rape. And if that is after you, it rapes you for that. And then it prepares you that what now happens can happen. So whatever is needed that you now sit somewhere and talk about, normally you cannot talk about, it's not available actually. It makes for some, whatever this is, available. It is like a part of memory, part of your reference points. And then you can maybe talk about it. But I cannot take it personal. It's not my fault.
There's total distance and alienation from the world. and an awareness that this is not my home.
Yep.
The dissolution of the concept, Karl. I love that. Because what is Karl other than the concept? What is Chris other than the concept? What is all this other than the concept? And then you talk about something very interesting. You say the journey from individual to cosmic consciousness and the journey from personal to impersonal. That's interesting. Tell me about the journey from personal to impersonal.
Yeah, as in that so-called awareness of what you are, the personal cannot stay. It's burning out. I think Yuji Krishnamurti called it the holocaust of the me, the calamity. So in that energy or in that presence of that whatever, this knowledge, it cannot stay. So it's a natural just ceasing away without any effort. It's just more and more, and then you're even wondering, was there anything at all? And then it becomes impersonal. But even the impersonal is too personal for that. So even the impersonal gets erased. And then only that remains. And then even later on you see that even the light is shit.
Even the light is shit?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, because you are hit. And
Yeah.
the light you see is there or not. You are what you are, with and without the light. So
right.
who needs light? But you cannot avoid the light. And the light is the beginning of realization and all of what follows. And you cannot stop dreaming. The moment you want to stop dreaming, you're in the dream. It's too late. So that's why I call, is everything too late? Even now it's too late. So you have to realize yourself, if you like it or not. And if you would ask me if I would rather stay in that absolute absence, whatever it is, I would say I would stay there forever. No one cares. But naturally you always go back to this whatever, and then there comes the next. The next, and then, and then, and then, and then. So the then happens naturally.
Yatsavi